So we're live now. All right. So we are live now, and I see that we have just a handful of students for the morning class. I think we'll just have to head right into it. Others will join in. So Mr. Tefa, again, the floor is yours to take. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. Good
Thank
morning
you. Good morning.
once
Good
again.
morning. Once again.
Uh, Welcome, trainees, to another session of this training. Um, Before I go into the topic of today, television and news reporting of projects and their progress, I would like to make this clear that the essence of this training is for you to be acquainted with the basic journalistic skills and be able to practicalize what is being taught. That is the reason some of the sessions that were held had instructional materials that were presented to facilitate what uh, was needed or the things that were needed to be understood. You are expected to be practicalizing what is being taught by going out there to source for news. You're supposed to be sending in news stories to be produced and disseminated by three-piece media. At least the training obtained so far can make you to be able to do some of these productions. You can go out and interview a couple of people on some subject matters affecting their areas. You have a lot of issues going on: fuel scarcity, inflation, the nature of the economy, some natural issues occurring, and other social economic activities that are going on in various aspects, in various areas. So you can go out there and get stories that can help three-piece media, because there are a lot of things that are happening. That is the reason you have been selected, so that you can represent peace media wherever you are and report events happening there. You must not wait to be instructed to go out and cover an event. Maybe on your way to school or on your way to work, you saw something that you can stop by and do a coverage, get an interview, get the story right. One thing you need to do is you must ensure that you get the story right. Don't just assume and write based on assumption, or don't be partisan in your report. Don't just interview one person and then believe that and write a story. You have to confirm your information. You have to know what is being written. You can go to the police station to also get details if it is an accident or an issue of armed robbery or theft, as the case may be. You go to the police station and meet the police PRO, the public relation officer of the police, to get details about any crime reporting anything that has to do with criminality or crime. Then you should be able to get the details. So you have to be sending in stories that can be used on three-piece media. You have to be sending stories. There are a lot of things happening. You can go to your local government council area. You can go to institutions. You can go to where there are abandoned projects and you can interview people there now to tell you what's happening, that the projects are still left like that, because some will tell you that the people there made the project to be abandoned. So you try to get stories that will draw the attention of the government to abandoned projects in your vicinity. So you are journalists to bring development. So you have to do certain things. There are a lot of abandoned projects that the government may not be aware the present government may not be aware. So it is through the media that the government will know that. So some of these projects that were completed on paper haven't been completed on ground. Or maybe the government might be aware but protecting those that were given the project because of certain interest. But when the media consistently uh, give report on certain aspects, the government will be left with no choice than to yield to the demands. So it is your responsibility to keep to that. So don't wait until you are told, go and cover this story, go and do that. As you are seeing newsworthy event, you can cover and forward. They can be edited and worked upon. The voiceover can be done, and Trippies Media can make use of that. Clean videos, uh, clean, a good interview, audible interview, and sound, and all that will enhance its quality should be taken into consideration so that you start contributing to the improvement of three-piece media. So it is very important that you start doing these. As you do them, you can edit, because I told you about compressing, how you can compress videos. I was able to send on the platform names of software that can be used in compressing videos of high gig or MB to smaller ones. So you can use that, compress and send to the email that was forwarded to you to send the assignment that I was giving earlier to you, so that it can be developed, the stories can be used and disseminated to the audience. The essence of the training is to put you to work. You're not just learning this to know, you are learning to know and to practicalize. It's not just to get the knowledge. Once you have the knowledge, you can now apply the knowledge in the practical experience, because you cannot practicalize what you don't know. Once you want to practicalize what you don't know, it becomes an error. It can lead to accident. It can lead to an error because you don't know. So what do you want to practice? Just like someone who doesn't know how to drive a car wants to drive a car, then the tendency of getting having an accident is higher than when you know. So you need to actually start putting parts or all of these trainings that have been given to you so far to work, so that Trippies Media will start benefiting from the training that is still ongoing. And again, the flyers that we're giving, you need to ensure that they are distributed appropriately and the soft copies are being shared on your social media platforms, so that people would actually participate, because these would also help to promote three-piece media and make those who are not aware to know of its existence. Today's topic is television news reporting of projects and their uh, progress. Television news reporting of projects and their progress. Television, like I have said before, is a very essential platform for news reporting because of its unique characteristic. It is an audio-visual instrument, tool, device that helps in transmitting news to the audiences as they listen, as they hear, as they watch, listen to what is being said. And as they hear this, they now act based on what is being seen and heard at the same time. So it is a very unique form of media that has actually made significant impact. Um, you see, a lot of contracts or projects have been awarded to be executed by government, by private organizations, and by individuals. And at some point, some projects are being abandoned. The stages in which projects are being abandoned varies. There are some projects that will be awarded. The ceremony, the awarding ceremony will be done, or the celebration for the contracts being awarded will be done, and that is where the whole thing ends. Nobody knows what happens with the money. Nobody hears anything again, and that becomes history. There are some projects that are awarded, some contracts that are awarded, and then maybe you go to the site, you see that the contractors are mobilized to the site, the foundation is being dug or done, and that ends there. Some, it will move to a certain level. Some will near finishing stage before it is being abandoned. Television stations, or television as a media platform, have a very important role to play in creating the awareness that certain things are not right, in bringing the attention of the government to critical issues that affect us as a people. So it is important that television journalists follow up activities of importance to the community. If a contract is being awarded to be executed and it is being covered by television, it's being covered by television, a media organization, being covered by television journalists, it is important to keep the progress of that project um, on, to keep informing the audience of the progress of that project. And if the project hasn't been executed, it is still the responsibility of the television media to inform the government and the public that this contract awarded, this project that is to be executed, hasn't commenced, so that the government would actually provide answers why during the awarding of the contract, it was made known, it went viral on all media platforms and remained like that. So the government will have to explain to the public why a well celebrated contract has only remained on paper, that it hasn't been actually actualized or brought to reality. This can be done by giving a step to step or step by step coverage. When a contract is being awarded, the media covers the process. The government would call media organization to come, that today is going to be a contract. Today, a contract will be awarded to a particular firm, company, to construct road leading or to construct road from one point to another. And this is the amount of money the contract worth. And it is expected that the contract should be completed in 2 years, 1 year, and so on. And the contract will be paid in phases, maybe phase one for mobilization, phase two, or phase three, depending on the terms of agreement in awarding the contract. If you follow media coverage or coverages of events like this, you will see news stories of contracts being awarded to the company named company's name will be mentioned, and you see an interview conducted with maybe the Minister of Work or the Commissioner of Works or the Minister of Works, will tell you, yes, this contract has been awarded to this company and is expected to do that. You see shots of the company's machines and the engineers or those in charge of working there. You see them, the engineers, the contractors are there. You see the technicians are there, and then the manager of the company is being interviewed too, and would say that yes, the contract has been awarded and they will soon mobilize their workers, or they have already mobilized, and then work will begin soon, or maybe in a couple of days, and that is being transmitted, and people watch that, seal that, and applaud the government. Now, the reporter of this story on television is expected to always monitor. That is the role that media should play, not just covering the awarding ceremony or celebrating the contract being awarded and that ends there. It's not right. The reporters or the media organization or house must take note of these whenever any contract is being awarded and disseminated, the information of that is being disseminated to the audience. It should be recorded that a contract was awarded on this day to be executed in this place and so on, so that there will be a check. The media house will be in contact, will try to follow up this contract that was awarded. Has work started? What is delaying it? So that journalists will be sent from the media organization, now three-piece media, can now say, all right, this reporter is in charge of covering that area. Go there and do a coverage, so that you get the visuals of the site where the work was supposed to be done that hasn't started. And then you interview people within the area as well. And then you visit the commissioner if it is a state government project or a local government project. You can visit the chairman of the local government, the commissioner. Then if it is a federal government project, you can visit the minister of works and housing, minister of works. You can visit the minister of works or commissioner of works, and then you ask questions why the contract awarded to construct a particular road hasn't been carried out. And then you hear what the person has to say, and then what the people have to say. Then if you know the contractors who were awarded the contract as earlier reported, you would still go to the site or to their office, to their place, and you ask questions why the well celebrated uh, contract being awarded hasn't started, so that you will inform the public that, well, this contract that was awarded 3 months ago hasn't started, and this is what the people involved are saying. Let them know, so that they will be informed to know the sincerity or the insincerity of the government, because there are certain things that once left like that, nobody will understand what is happening. The media, like I have said before, it is standing between the government and the masses or the public. When the government wants to talk to the public, the government uses the media. When the public wants to talk to the government, they use the media as well. So the media is in the middle as a channel of taking information from the government to the people and from the people to the government. It's a channel, a bridge. That is why you see when the government wants to say certain things, we call the press for a press conference. We call the press for an interview. We call the press to come cover the event. Why is this so? So that the public will be aware that this is what we are doing as a government, or this is what we intend to do. So the calling of media to cover that is to to show the importance of media in national development. So they have to pass the information and then follow up. The media scrutinize the government. The media serve as a kind of body or organization or platform that check the government excesses, that tries to to bring the government to order when it strays. So it is the responsibility of media organizations to try, media platforms, houses, to try at all times to ensure that they follow up reports on projects that are being awarded to be executed, contracts that are being awarded to be executed. So the report, when the report is being made, the public will understand why there is a delay. And if after some time nothing is still done, the media the media house will still have to do something. In this case, Street Peace Media Limited that is going to do that. We ensure that you still go back, and after some time, maybe after 1 month, you still have to bring a story again. You can now tag it 1 month after or 6 months after the contract for the construction of this road was awarded, work hasn't commenced. If it reaches 1 year, it can still be tagged 1 year after. If it's 2 years, it can still be tagged 2 years after, so that the public will be aware that the contract that was awarded 2 years ago hasn't commenced. And then as the report is being done, the visuals of the place where the work was supposed to start is also being obtained. And then people are being interviewed. And then the minister and commissioner is also still being interviewed. Because if you are going to report anything of this nature, you can't just go to the site, maybe work began but stopped at a level or at some stage or point, and then you just interviewed the residents in the area where the project is situated, and then you go and write your story. That would be very wrong. It won't be appropriate. In doing that, there should be a balanced reportage. And that balanced reportage required that the most important elements in that report should be captured. The government that awarded that contract, maybe through the Commissioner of Works or through the Ministry of Works at the state level, headed by the Commissioner, or the Ministry of Work at the federal level, of Works at the federal level, headed by the Minister of Works. So you have to bring that to the interview, bring them to the interview. Then you have to ensure that the contractors too, you are in touch with them to ask them why it has been a year, 6 months, or 1 year, 2 years, 7 months after, and work is yet to begin on the contract being awarded, so that you can bring that to the knowledge of the public. In some cases, the government may not be informed about certain things. There are some fishy deals that normally happen in awarding these contracts. So at times, the government may not be aware of certain things because those in charge, in the government in charge, may conceal information. They will just write and send to a report to the minister and tell the minister that the work has been completed, because the minister may not go there to inspect, because the minister is like the eye of the president when it comes to that ministry. Whatever the minister says or gives the president, he is contented with that, satisfied with the information. So there are certain things that may not be true. So the government So at times informed. So it is the media that can expose such misinformation. The media that can do that. So television is a critical instrument or platform tool that can be used to do that. So once the report is on air, and then the visuals, the shots of the uncompleted project is being, or the shots are being disseminated or transmitted, the government would see and understand that this project that was claimed to have been completed hasn't even gone anywhere. So a sincere government would actually act on that and ensure that the right thing is being done. Those in charge are called to come back and do the work. I remember when President Muhammadu Buhari came on board as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because of the work media organization, especially television station, did, such as AIT, Channels, TVC, Arise TV, and others, by bringing certain abandoned projects in the administration of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Now, when TV television stations brought the videos and made interviews about certain projects that were awarded, and even stating the amount which the project was awarded, in which the projects were awarded and not executed, Buhari had to call the contractors to order that if they weren't going to do the contracts anymore, then a refund should be made to the federal government. It has to compel most of the contractors to go back and work. So this became possible because of the media. You know, when the media consistently bring certain thing up, it will reach a level, it will reach to a level where certain actions must be taken. Otherwise, the integrity of the government and other critical stakeholders will be at stake. So at times when certain decisions are taken by the government or individuals, it is not that they actually want to do that. It is because of the pressure from the media, because of the heat that the media generates in that aspect, that we left them with no choice than to do what they do. Like you see how the media have been exposing corruption. So you discover that because of the media report, you see EFCC and other anti-corruption agencies going conducting their investigation because of the report given by a media platform that a particular person, organization, company is actually corrupt and is found to have done one or two things that actually led to embezzlement of particular amount of money. And by seeing that report, those in charge of anti-corruption would now work on the report given by the media. Most of the investigations EFCC, ICPC, and other anti-corruption agencies or other intelligence agencies are conducting is because of the tip given to them by the media. That is why in the media, investigative journalism or investigative reporting is being taught as well, and how investigations should be conducted to expose evildoers. So it is expected that the media should be able to do that. Now, using television will be very, very comprehensive and very, very believable. You know, by the time people see the pictures, the motion pictures, the shots of the roads not completed or the drainages not completed, and see the building, what structure not completed, and others not completed, they will believe that. that, oh, this project is actually not completed. And by the time the interviews are done, you see the commissioner saying, well, they came on board, their government did not award that contract, but coming on board, they are going to see how they can facilitate the completion of the contract. So even if the current government didn't want to ensure that the contract is being executed, but by the constant reports of the media, the television media platform, the government will be compelled to do something by trying to see how they can remobilize, or see the previous government, how to see ways to look into ways of bringing back the contractors to complete the work. That is the reason you see that when contracts are left, work is being left like that, being abandoned, after some years, you will see contractors back on site trying to see how they can complete the work because of the media persistence, media always hitting hard on the door of the government. Please come and finish this work. The public need this to be done. The people in the area need to benefit from this. So the government should try and ensure that this is done and this is completed. So television is very paramount to ensure that these projects or contracts are being reported. Now, if a contract is awarded and the foundation is being done, a report should be given. Three-piece media will ensure that the reporter in charge of that gives the development. And then if it moves to the next stage, maybe it is a kind of road construction, maybe opening a new road or rehabilitating an old road. So if it is a new road construction or road rehabilitation, there are some places where there are no roads at all. So the government might award contracts for a new road to be opened to connect communities or cities. And then there may be roads that are already there, constructed long time ago, but they are damaged or bad or in bad shape that need rehabilitation. So the government can give that. So if the contractors come to start work, the coverage can be given. And as the work is progressing, Trippies Media give a step-to-step update of that event, a step-to-step development of that contract. If it goes from grading the place, it's being covered and disseminated to the public. If it reaches to the level where the laterite is being poured, is being covered, so that the audience will get an update of the work until to the point where it is being completed. And at that point of completion, it will also be reported. And then maybe the commissioning ceremony, because there are certain government projects that once they are completed, a date is fixed for the commissioning. A date is fixed for the work to be commissioned and officially open to public use. So it is expected that these stages of reportage should be given in course of the work, so that if the work stopped at any stage, let the public know that this work started and stopped at this stage and hasn't been completed. There are a lot of abandoned projects. If you go around, you will see government abandoned projects that are there that haven't been completed. So the work of reporting these would help people to know that the government is either being the government is either not being serious with tackling certain infrastructural deficit that certain areas are facing, or because of certain self-centered interest, the government has turned its back on particular communities. So the media, Tripp's media can draw the attention of the government to this through the reporters that will be in charge of reporting these aspects. So it is very important because the public always appreciate when their interest is being upheld. So if public interest or human interest stories are consistently reported, it will increase the level of viewership because in this case it is audiovisual TV, online TV. So it will increase the level of viewership. People knowing that Tripp's Media is a platform that has two TVs, which they have been promoting a lot of human interest stories. They have been ensuring that they make the government act and do what is right, that is of human interest. You will see the level of viewership will also increase because when the government is constantly praised, when there's a propaganda, people would not want to identify with any platform that focuses only on propaganda, only praising the government and not seeing the bad side of the government. People don't want that. You know, they will tell you that they don't want that because the objectivity may not be there. I have met a couple of persons who told me they don't like watching NTA, and I asked why. They say NTA has not been objective when issues that have to do with the government are involved, that they're always partisan. They don't give a critical analysis, discussion of issues that seriously affect the government. They only scratch the issue, just a tip, and they don't do that. But other TV stations like channels, TVC, Arise go deeper by scrutinizing the government and exposing any evil that the NTA would have hidden or is hiding from them. That is the reason most prefer to watch other TV stations, that they see them to be more objective and balanced in their reportage. So you see how people view stories, view stations. You are not the one to tell somebody that yes, this station is doing the right thing. When people see what is happening on ground and they are feeling the heat and they see what the media is saying or is promoting, they know the truth. So you cannot convince somebody that the person is not hungry when the person is really hungry. The person is hungry and knows he's hungry. So you are not the person to tell someone who is hungry whether the person is hungry or not. It is the person that will tell you that they are hungry or not. So you will not be in the shoes to actually tell the person what affects the person. It's the person that will tell you the magnitude of what the person feels. So even in the media, the audiences are very, very sensitive to information. So three-piece media is not training you uh, to bring disrepute to the station. It's training you to be professional in your reportage. You need to be extremely professional. You need to balance your report. You need to ensure that people are being interviewed appropriately, just like this session is focusing on project execution. So if there is any project that is left like that, you shouldn't just take a story from the residents or the community leaders or head, and then you just write your story and go away. You must take their own opinion or views, then you take that of the contractors in charge of executing that project, and then you also interview one or two persons in the government who awarded or in charge of awarding contract or awarded the contract, because the government project, so it's the government that awarded it, then the contractor that the contract was awarded to execute, and then the area where the contract or the project began but hasn't been completed. So you need to bring this together, because as you are interviewing, as you write your story and you're talking about it, saying about it, describing the whole thing, the audios, the visuals are there being complemented by the audio. The visuals are there. So as you present the story, you bring the visuals for the audience to watch. As they are watching, they are also hearing what the people involved are saying. So if they say something that is satisfactory, why the work is still left like that, the the audience might understand and say, well, they, they know it's not the fault of the government, or it's not the fault of the contractor, because some contractors during the interview process, you may interview the residents in charge or those within the community where the contract started and hasn't been completed, and they may accuse the contractors. They may tell you the contractors are not serious with the work. They came and did the work halfway and left while they were giving the entire money. They were completely mobilized to go and do the work, and they didn't do as required and left. So in that instance, once you interview the contractors, the company in charge of executing the project or started and didn't finish might give you the reason that will be more satisfactory. So maybe if you had only used the opinions of the settlers or those in the community where the contract is being awarded, you would have misled people with your report. Maybe by the time you meet the contractor might tell you that, well, they were giving mobilization, first trenches, maybe a first trench. At times, the contractor has terms of agreement. They may say you will be paid 3 times. Some will say we'll pay you first. A trench is for you to do mobilization and work. Then when you reach a particular level, we'll now pay you the second trench. And then when you leave the third level, we'll now pay you the last tranche. So that would be the final pay. So depending on the terms of agreement. So once it reached that level and they weren't paid, the contractor will tell you that, well, we did this work the first time the money was given for mobilization, which we did, but it went to a level that nothing was given again. And we talked to those in charge in the government to do that. Nothing was done, and we decided to leave. So by the time the audiences watch and listen to what the company says through the manager or the person in charge of project execution, they will also want to hear what the government will have to say. So you still need to go to the government to interview the minister if it's a federal government project, or the commissioner if it's a state government project, to hear what the person has to say. Because if the contractors the company accuses the government of money, it is left for the government to say something. Maybe the government will say, actually, we didn't pay. The government might admit for not paying, but they may have reason, maybe because of short of fund, the revenue expected wasn't enough, so we couldn't do that. So the government might have a reason. So in that aspect, you discover that it is not the contractor that is supposed to be blamed, the company that is supposed to be blamed. It's now the government, because the company is ready to work, but money has not been given. And then the government might give you reason why the funds were not released. Tell you that because of a budget deficit. We know we made a budget. Unfortunately, the funds aren't enough or weren't enough for the work to be completed. So that was why they have to leave that and focus on issues that were of more priorities, thinking, saying that that can wait and can be completed subsequently. So once this is transmitted, it will inform the audience better. It will make the public to understand that, oh, okay, so this is the reason, and that this has been left in this way. Then if the contractor actually collected money and did not do it and was just lying, and you interview the government will still tell you the truth and say, okay, this no, 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 that they gave the contractor everything needed, but they refused to do that. So they will have to take legal actions. That is why you see at times the government will sue certain companies for breaching the terms of contracts agreement. So through media, through television, it goes a long way to fix certain things in project execution. By the time that is done, it will improve on a lot of things. I remember well how television made a lot of projects to be completed during the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. So the media played a critical role in community development. So that should actually be one of the activities that you should be abandoned projects and try to do a research. That is why I mentioned about the importance of research and why research should be taken very seriously, because it plays a very serious role in journalism. There are things that you cannot do without research. You must be able to find out the truth, to know things. You can't just go and see an abandoned project and start writing any story. You need to ask people within the area, what is this for? When last did anybody come here to do anything? Then the person will tell, well, this is a personal project, a private project, well, this is a state government project, a federal government project. And then some of these contracts, you normally see a signpost where the name of the the organization that awarded the contract is being written there. You can see a state government, maybe a Cross River State government or Benue State government or federal government, Nigeria, through which ministry. You can see Ministry of Works or that, and then you see the contractors in charge of executing the contract there. So in some of these and projects or contracts, you can be able to get certain information you need by the signboard that is being displayed there by this. The board there is to show, to give information of the contract, those in charge, those that are awarded, and those in charge of executing the contract. So through that, you can be able to make the necessary contact that you need to get sufficient information to make your story available, so that you can bring to the public why this project has been abandoned for years. So you need to meet the government and ask the government questions about this project, that this project has been abandoned for 5 years, and the community is concerned. So that is the reason you are there to conduct an interview. And maybe the person in charge might give you reasons why the project has been left like that they inherited the abandoned project, that it didn't start, and it didn't start with the present administration. So you can now bring to the public knowledge why those things are like that. Then in situations where a private organization or individuals decide to embark on community development project, you have to help to promote them. You promote them by informing the public, the audience, that yes, this project is being executed by this individual or this private organization. And then you do a follow up in reporting of a stage by stage report, so that it will motivate others. Reporting of this nature motivate others to do the same. The reason certain people are doing personal projects is because of the challenge they face by watching on TV people they believed or people they felt are not up to their standard doing certain things in their communities, they felt challenged and decided to wake up and also do even more in their own community. That why would a small boy like this be doing this in his community, and I will just sit and watch when I am more than him or have more money. So by reporting things like this, it poses as a challenge to others to do more in their respective communities. With this, you see the importance of media, especially television, because of its audiovisual display. So you see that the public would be happy to see this thing, and others will be challenged to do more. That's the reason you see a lot of personal projects have been done in various communities. You see an individual going to sink a borehole, an individual constructing roads, an individual building a hospital, an individual embarking on various infrastructural projects because of television, because of the media. So it is important that these be taken into consideration. All the trainees should ensure that they play a critical role in development. Three Piece Media has organized this training to inculcate in all of you the values of professionalism so that you will be extremely professional wherever you are doing your work, so that it will not only promote community development, but it will also add value to Three Piece Media. I think this will be all for today as we prepared for subsequent session. Thank you.